Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I haven't done one of these videos for a long time, maybe a year, maybe more. This is a Big Finish guide for newbies. A Big Finish guide for, I did a bunch of these. I think I'll try, if I remember, I'll put them in the notes for this video. Which is Big Finish. They create have created a wall, an absolute wall of content that if you're new to it, is, I would say, pretty much impossible to break into, right? It's just absolutely impossible because there's too much going on there. So I made these guys to try and help guide you through it because I really, really like Big Finish. Now, Big Finish, if you don't know, they make audio dramas, mainly Doctor Who and a bunch of other stuff, but Big Finish have not been as good as they used to be, right? Big Finish were fan-freaking-tastic. They were the forefront of Doctor Who when Doctor Who was pretty much dead. When off the air, they did a great job, and it was a wonderful time. And it's really kind of a crying shame that much like the Virgin novels era, the Big Finish eras are going away, are being forgotten, right? And part of that era is Charlotte Pollard, one of the great companions, the first companion of the Eighth Doctor, the Paul McGann Doctor. And man, it was so cutting edge at the time, played by India Fisher. She went on to be like the voice of MasterChef and like the #1 voiceover person. And she's a great companion. She's absolutely a great companion. Now, in Big Finish are trying to revamp themselves, reestablish themselves now in 2022. And so they're bringing her back. We're going to be looking at that question. But first we're going to do is look at everything that is Charlotte Pollard. And there's so much freaking good stuff there. There is great entertainment for virtually nothing, for really, really cheap, which is the stuff I like. Okay, so I'm gonna run you through it. Before we get into it, can you hit the like button? That'll be fan-dabby, double dozy. That'll be fantastic. Thank you very much. Can you hit the share button? Can you hit the subscribe button? If you're on YouTube and you're not and you are subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not subscribed, if you can consider hitting the subscribe button, that'll be fan-freaking-tastic. Thank you very much. I am genuinely honoured. The one that came into my head is honoured, right? And I was like, well, that's a bit much, isn't it? You want to wind that back. And I thought, no, actually I am. It's really nice. Thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Comment's great. It helps the algorithm. I will endeavour to reply to all your comments. Replying to replies, no, I'm not good at. Okay, I will try, but you go to the trouble of commenting. I will try and reply. But mostly sign up my Substack. Link in the video notes. It's a email newsletter. I let you know about the videos I put out every day. Maybe something's interesting there. Maybe not. I don't care, right? But also I put out other stuff. I put out comics. We got Ice Warriors on Sunday, part of the Sunday comics. And then on Fridays, I'm doing, and something for the weekend, sir, doing a story called Red Ghost, kind of a 2000 AD kind of thing. Go check it out, okay? Go check it out. It's completely free. There is a paid version. It's $5 a month. Thank you very much. I'm going to be launching, if I get the production materials, the advertising materials ready, which I'm gonna aim for today. If I get those ready, we're launching my new book, Crown of the Empire, which I just finished the second issue of. Actually, I got couple more lines to do, which I just finished virtually finished the second issue of yesterday. So there you go. That's going to be on the page. $5 a month. It's kind of like my Patreon. My channel's demonetized. If you like what I'm doing, you want to throw me a couple of bucks, that's the way to do it. Thank you very much. I am ridiculously grateful. Right, like, share, subscribe, comment, substack. Yeah, we covered everything. We haven't covered everything. So let's firstly look at over here. That's the one. So this is what's coming out this month. It might even be out now. So I don't know when this video is going to be released. It's either going to be on Friday or Saturday. I'm recording it on Wednesday. But this is new Big Finish, right? New Big Finish trying to reinvent itself. It's had a few lean years. Like most things in the entertainment industry, they haven't connected with the audience. They've disconnected from the audience. Big Finish quite a lot show. They used to have a main range where they had monthly releases. And that just was in the toilet. That was in the toilet. It was just so bad. So I think they are trying to reinvent themselves. I'm not sure how well it's going to go. I listened to one of their first box sets they put out, Peter Davison 40, and it's a 4-part story and a 2-part story. The 4-part story is okay. It's not great. It's a bit fan wanky. It's a direct sequel to Tomb of the Cybermen. Direct. It takes place on the rocket ship on the way back from Telos. What was that? thunder again. Man, the weather's terrible over here. Takes place on the rock. It has a lot of the same characters. I think I kind of would have worked with a Christopher Eccleston Doctor who's not very connected to his Doctor Who history, right? But with the Peter Davison one, just seemed a bit desperate to get people to buy it by putting in member bearers. And then it had an Ice Warriors story, which was just not very good. The writer, Sarah Gorchala, I think is her name. I think she was the writer on it. But it was very obviously her thoughts on sexual politics and feminism with a few Ice Warriors thrown in. And that's just the sort of stuff that turned everybody off Big Finish, I'm afraid. You know, it just is. So I'm hoping they're trying to go back to basics with Charlotte Pollard. By the way, here they got, for the love of stories, they got this new ident. Here, I'm going to play it for you. It's truly awful. Let me turn this down. It's truly, truly awful.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
That was not a good idea. That was not a good idea. I don't know why. I don't know why they thought that was it, but that's very, very corporate. I think very, very losing its edge. So let's go back and look at yesteryear, right? The beginning of Big Finish, where Charlotte Pollard came in, because how much is this, by the way? This is £20, $20. Look, I got it pre-ordered. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to show you why I'm looking forward to it, right? We'll go right up here to the top. Whoa, we'll go back to it. So she first came in Winter for the Adept, this was one of the first year releases from Big Finish, I think. She was okay. She was like a minor character in that. She was okay. But from that, she got the job as companion of the Paul McGann series. Now, they tried to get Paul McGann for several years. Let's see, what year did this come out? They tried to get him for many years. I think Janet Fielding was her agent, 2001. Right, so they were making stories for a good good few years, like a good what number? 16. Okay, so they were good a year, about 2 years in when they got Paul McGann, and there was this real genuine excitement at the time. Right, they were moving Doctor Who forward, and it felt that way. It felt very contemporary. Right, it felt like new Doctor Who, or felt like what Doctor Who would be like in 2001. India Fisher, Charlotte Pollard, was the companion. She's an Edwardian adventuress. So the first story they meet is on the R101, the famous doomed airship. And there's an ongoing arc where she was sort of meant to die there. You know, this isn't really that important, but it created like a paradox because the Doctor saved her. But basically, she was just a great companion, right? She was a real traditional companion, really, really worked well with Paul McGann. And this was a great season. So Storm Warning also had Gareth Thomas in it. But again, there was just this real life and energy in it of like moving Doctor Who forward, and they moved it forward in an exciting way. I think this is really, really Big Finish at its absolute prime. So yeah, Storm Warning. These are on sale right now. I'm not sure how much they're going to be on sale for. I think another day or so. Well, $1.50. $1.50 for a great story. Can't say better than that. Sort of Orion. This is one of the weaker ones from that first season. It was one of the old scripts from the fan group Audio Visuals, which Nick Briggs and was in, and they grew up to become Big Finish. So they reused the script because they didn't have much time. Didn't entirely work. It was quite good. I'll give this one like a 5-6 out of 10. Right, Stones of Venice, awesome. The crown of the season, right? Absolutely. Michael Sherd is in it. I like Michael Sherd. He was Scarman in Pyramids of Mars, and the headmaster in Remembrance of the Daleks. There was going to be a Doctor Who movie in the 90s. He was slated to be the Doctor. Just a really great story written by Paul Margs. Again, really different, really interesting, really contemporary. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Great story. Really great story. And then the season finishes with Minuet in Hell. Not great. Minuet in Hell has the Brigadier. It has Nicholas Courtney being the Brigadier. It was really nice hearing him play against Paul McGann. Again, this was an audio-visual script adapted. And it was very, 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 very heavily influenced by Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You had Becky Lee in it. who was a demon hunter. And just lots of bad American accents, like lots and lots of very embarrassingly bad American accents. I think you can get like all the first two seasons. So they did it in seasons for about $15 or £15, depending where you are. Really worth it, right? So Earth Search didn't listen to. Fly Me to the Moon. This was one of the like fringe theater comedy things they did. Sylvester McCoy, India Fisher. I've never listened to it. It looks like you can't even buy it anymore, right? 1 second. That's a why is it still listed if you can't buy it? Is it? Yeah, no, you can't add it to the cart. It's out of print, and the entry remains on the website for information only. Okay, not that interested, but okay. So then we get a season 2 of Paul McGann, and it's even better, right? There's more confidence, there's more releases. So the first one is Invaders of Mars from Mars, which is a great little story, a fun story by Mark Gatiss. It's about Orson Welles recording War of the Worlds at the same time of an action alien invasion going on. Great fun season opener. Chimes of Midnight, all-time classic, absolutely all-time classic. Really creepy Christmas sort of story. Love it. Absolutely love it. They released this one on vinyl. This is one of the best McGann releases. $1.50. Normally £3, $3. Okay. Seasons of Fear, written by Paul Cornell. Do not like Paul Cornell, but love his writing. One of the best Doctor Who writers are living today. Has the Nyman in it, and it's still good. Right? It's a great little story. Strong recommend. Embrace of Darkness is a sci-fi thriller, no recurring monsters, written by Nick Briggs. Solid. It's a solid, serviceable release. Probably the weakest of the season, but it was probably the weakest of the season, but better than anything in the first season. Then we have Time of the Daleks. I love this one. It's a great experimental Dalek story, right? It's you have Daleks. It's very much. It feels like Evil of the Daleks with their weird time travel with all those mirrors. Like that never really made much sense to me. And the Daleks are quoting Shakespearean dialogue. Justin Richards wrote this, I think. Again, experimental, pushing it forward. A lot of confidence. Very, very interesting. Right, and then we have the season ends with Neverland, which was quite. Who wrote this one? It was quite a good story, but it goes straight into Zagreus, which is their holiday release. Who wrote this one? Alan Barnes. Okay, solid writing, right? Solid writing. So it goes into Zagreus, which is like their big, their 50th release, which had multi-Doctor one. Not that great. This was a bit of a misfire, in my opinion. It was, you have lots of recognizable Doctor Who stars playing other roles. Didn't really work. Living Legend. Yeah, this is like a free giveaway for Doctor Who magazine. But yeah, so this was the end of that second season. Well, Neverland was. And this is where, it was a bit, well, wasn't the strongest, wasn't the worst, but yeah, that's what you get with experimentation. When you get experimentation, and confidence, you will get ideas that don't work sometimes, and that's what we got. So then they go into this Divergent arc thing, which isn't very good. In fact, I would say the rest of the McGann run with India Fisher skippable, totally skippable. So season 3 of I don't know how to pronounce it. Scherzo. It's a two-hander with India Fisher and Paul McGann. Good. Listen, strong performances. Really strong performances. And also good Doctor Who, but they're in something very, very different with this Divergent arc. Creed of the Cromon introduces Kariz, a new companion. Very, very forgettable. Very forgettable. It doesn't really do much for me. Natural History of Fear. Freaking love this one, right? Absolutely love it. It deals with the fracturing nature of reality. This for me is a standout star of the season. And then you have Twilight Kingdom, which all I remember about it is it had Michael Keaton in it from Blake 7. And it was, again, I remember it being quite forgettable. So she appears in one of the Gallifrey Rangers. I can't remember who she's playing. Don't really care. Faith Stealer again. I know, at this point, the Divergent arc, you're just waiting for it to end. You're like, oh, please make it stop. Doria was one of the better ones of this one. And the whole art ends up with the next life. By the way, they had what's his name? Don Warrington playing Rassilon. Great casting, got a fantastic voice for Rassilon. Really, really worked. And he was also in Zagreus as well. Worth checking out. I forgot she was in the Adventure of Luther arc, right? Okay, this is £5, $5 This is awesome. It's a 3-disc release of a comic book written by Brian Tolbert. Beautiful artwork on this comic dealing with reality hopping, multiple universes. It's a classy production. It really is. Like that they can't put this on they can't sell this to a radio service. I don't know why. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Paul Darrow is in it as well. So then we were into we're in the 4th season now. I can't remember, 4th or the 5th season. And they're back in the normal universe and nothing really comes together, right? It gets kind of peters out. They're all kind of like serviceable. So you have Terra Firma, a Dalek story, which I remember being really disappointing. Scaredy Cat, again, disappointing. Other Lives was pretty good. I quite like Other Lives. And then they just kind of got into a lot more experimental stuff. And it was, for me, it wasn't populist entertainment, but it's more like weird sci-fi nasal gazing. So that's basically how I'd explain Time Works, Sunning Inside, and Memory Lane, right? So they basically, then they get rid of Chris and Absolution. Again, you don't really need him. Then you get this fantastic release, The Girl Who Never Was, which is when she leaves McGann's doctor. And I can't remember, I think McGann thinks she's dead, or something happens with her, but it was really good. It was like shocking, right? It was basically, it left you with like, McGann thinks she's dead, and she thinks the doctor's dead, and they split up forever. And it's really also shocking ending to their relationship. Not quite as shocking as the Lucy Miller stuff. So then they worked out they needed to revamp the Paul McGann line at this point, and they brought in Lucy Miller. That was great. That whole stuff was really great as well. But because this was getting tough. But then Charlie Pollard was so good. They then had to do a season with Colin Baker's Doctor when she finds him, and she doesn't want to give spoilers about his future and tell her that she knows what's going on. He knows that something's going on. So you got The Condemned, which is quite a good contemporary sci-fi, contemporary thriller with sci-fi elements. Doomwood Curse, that's kind of a good Dick Turpin-ish story. Brotherhood of the Daleks, I don't remember anything about it other than it was good, right? I remember it was really good. Rain Cloud Man, also good. Then they start to ride her out with Patient Zero, which was, they introduced these new villains called the Viridian. So this was a 3-story arc. So you got the Patient Zero, Paper Cuts, fantastic draconian stories. £13. $13. I think it's a bit too much, quite frankly. These ones where they're $1.50. I'm like, yeah, don't even hesitate. But £13, it seems too much to me. But they're still good stories, right? It's still excellent stories, and the arc wraps up in Blue Forgotten Planet. Another excellent run, and like excellent story. Real good conclusion. There's this subscriber only release, Return of the Crotons. So she came back occasionally. I mean, you'll see her in like Sherlock Holmes, and then she was in this particularly good Short Trips, which is just her voice on it. No, it's her and David Bally. David Bally playing the Celestial Toymaker. Great casting, right? Absolute great casting. £4, that'll be a recommend. She did a bunch of Short Trips and narrator stuff. And then I don't even remember being in these Bernie Summerfield box sets, neither of which are very good. If you like Bernie Summerfield, avoid both of these, right? Then they did this Destiny of the Doctors for the 50th anniversary. Again, kind of Short Trips, wasn't very good. The whole thing just didn't really come together. Apparently she was in this revamp of Blake 7. Don't remember being in it at all. Light at the End, she should be in, because that was the 50th anniversary, sorry. fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Moldy Doctor, one of the best Moldy Doctor stories out there. And then I didn't listen to her solo stuff. It's only £10 right now. Charlotte Pollard Series 1 and Charlotte Pollard Series 2. But she did turn up in the Colin Baker's Last Adventure. Also fantastic. Wait till it's on sale. £30 is way too much for this. But yeah, there's Colin Baker's final story, which was really... ties into Time and the Rani, and it kind of elevates his end in quite a big way. So yeah, she did another short trip. They released Chimes at Midnight, and the second season Charlotte Pollard, which I'm surprised they did. And then and then she was back she had a cameo in Ravenous 3. Forget it. Did they even work out that she was... I can't remember how that arc ended up. Legacy of Time was one of those things that was not as good as you hoped it would be, right? It was another huge multi-doctor thing. It was it was a bit overblown, bloated. A few more short trips. I forgot she's in the End of the Beginning. I don't remember being in at all, but okay. Which was the end of the monthly range, which was utter garbage for that time. It appeared in other Sherlock Holmes, but now she's back again in Charlotte Pollard, the further adventuress, right? The further, because she's an Edwardian adventuress, and they are using very, very bankable writers for this, very old school writers. It's Alan Barnes, Lisa McMullen, Eddie Robson, and Nicholas Briggs. So it seems to be they want to have traditional good Doctor Who stories again, right? So I am quite excited about this. I don't know when it's going to be released, but really, the top picks at this: Storm Warning, Stones of Venice, Invaders from Mars, Chimes at Midnight, Season of Fear, Time of the Daleks. Yeah, they're your Natural History of Fear as well. They're your Luther Arc, right? They are your bargains, right? They're the bargains if you want to stick your toes in. Any one of those ones, cheapest chips, really, really strong recommend. If you like Doctor Who, you might like this. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.